Hello, you're listening to Hibs Talk. I'm your host as always, Gav. Joining me today is Dave.
Alright.
And Stephen.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Fine. Yeah, I'm good, mate. I already want to go home. I can't be dealing with him. I didn't know this guy. He's happy. He's smug. I'm like, who are you?
Do we ask how you're doing, Stephen?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Aye.
How you been other than, we'll come back to football in a minute, but how you been?
I've been good, mate. What about yourself?
Yeah, good. Busy with work and crazy weekend, but no, good. What about yourself, Stephen? How you been?
Busy working week.
Yeah.
Good. Busy. I got my toenails painted on Friday night.
Yeah?
Aye. It's a bit different for me.
Right. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was fine. My mate's 6-year-old daughter painted them for us. Rainbow colours and everything. Looks quite good.
That's nice.
She also painted her father's. So, this guy's a Hearts fan by so this adds to the funniness.
Right.
He took his daughter swimming today and he completely forgot that he had his toenails painted.
Brilliant.
Until he was getting changed. So, that's quite funny, I suppose. Apparently he was quite mortified. I don't know what he's more embarrassed about, his football team or his toenails, to be fair, but aye. I
know him quite well, and I know he'll be quite mortified by that.
Makes me it's so good that it's him.
Aye. So we've got quite a bit to talk about today. A lot of your guys' questions covering loan signings potentially becoming permanent, and obviously we've got the games to look back to as well. So Killie was yesterday, so we'll start off with that. Difficult win yesterday.
Yeah, I know you're going to come back to it, but it was a difficult watch the last part of the second half anyway. But the weather obviously looked shocking. Would have been absolutely freezing to be there. Unfortunately, I was working. I don't know if that's unfortunate or fortunate, because it didn't look the best conditions to go and watch a game of football. So fair play to the folk that went. But difficult win, but fuck it, win.
Starting with the second half, Stephen, what was your thoughts on the first half performance?
The first half got off to a flyer. Like, that's what I'd be expecting from us every game. I think with the weather conditions and that, it took quite a bit to continue that through the second half, the same tempo and stuff, but there's a couple of wee changes as well in the second half that made it a wee bit more difficult, renewal coming off and that, but no, it was a good start, and that's what I'd like to see at the start of every game.
A bit frustrating a couple of times that it was that windy and we're trying to play, try to get in behind quickly, and I can understand from a tactical point of view, but maybe you have to take in terms of you have to think about the weather, and we're trying to play balls, in the air, and it was kind of the wind was having its way with it, so maybe should have been a bit more tactical and kind of kept the ball on the ground. I know you're a big fan of the ball on the ground anyway, Dave, but in terms of getting in behind quickly, maybe could have tried to find another way. Am I being harsh?
But probably a wee bit harsh. It is difficult. I heard the commandant manager say at the start of the game that it maybe wasn't going to be pretty, but he wasn't bothered. He was encouraging his players to make it like Messi rather than taking risks. So it's maybe the type of thing we were doing as well. Just whatever. Just play to the elements. And I know we're saying play it along the ground, but
yeah.
Plastic pitch as well.
Yeah,
the ball does stick a bit. So
it's not even that. It's not even the stickiness. I actually think it was skating away a few times, because the ball.
I think it was more the wind that was taking the ball away.
I mind Boyle running through at one point and
the ball went away from him.
The ball when it hit the surface and that just no. Oh well.
I was watching the game with my dad, and me and my dad had different opinions on Scott Allen's performance. I thought it was, we're going to come. Don't worry, Stephen. We're going to come back to the formation. So I felt that this position with two strikers in front of him and Boyle to the right benefited him, and he was quiet, but then all of a sudden he'd get himself a bit of space and play a great ball in behind, and he was doing that especially a couple of times in the second half, which was really good. But my dad was more frustrated with his performance. Which side of the fence did you go on?
I thought he was alright.
Yeah.
I think he created a few chances, and pretty much all you need Scott Allen today, innit?
Yeah.
He just needs one or two of them right, and then we're on to something.
Yeah. Stephen, thoughts on Scott Allen's performance?
I agree 100%. Yeah. I think sitting there just in front of the rest of midfield, and I think that it does sort of. You don't want to blame the weather too much, but I think that because of the conditions and the ball getting away a wee bit, like during the passing, I think that's what maybe sort of gave your dad that impression. But no, I think he's doing well there.
Yeah, and we have spoke on last week's podcast actually, because we've never done one after the county game yet. We spoke about how we were conceding from set pieces, and if you look at the last 3 games, I believe we've scored 5 goals from corners now. Yeah. 6 if you include Docherty's, which was obviously played short and a couple of touches after that. But so if we don't include that, 5. What have we had that many scored against us? We've now learned how to do it ourselves, or is it just a case of Newell taking the corners now?
I was going to say Newell putting the ball in.
Yeah.
Big difference, massive difference. It's not floated in, and it's kind of whipped in, and you just get more power on a header like that, and you've seen that with Deutsch in a couple of the games.
Yeah.
Right back to Dundee United in the cup. That's honestly, it's made a difference. Newell's been phenomenal since he's come in.
Mm-hmm. And we did get asked if we knew anything about his injury, but I've not heard anything yet, so hopefully it's not too bad.
It doesn't look too. I wouldn't worry about it too much, to be honest. I mean, like we were saying earlier in the chat, and that it was the fact that he had came out onto the pitch after, never went down the tunnel after he had come off the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to be an ankle injury as well. I don't know, like the first thing you do is put ice on it, and like you see most of the people on with crutches by the end of the game. So I think the fact that he came out and applauded the fans and stuff, I don't think that there is too much in it. But
the club said nothing as well. So.
Exactly. So I don't think, maybe a week, if anything, he might miss the Livi game. But
normally you hear about it.
Yeah, if it's something bad. So the first goal, we had a couple of chances, but the first one, it came from a hit from distance, and what a hit for distance for Docherty.
Yeah, it was nice, unexpected as well.
Yeah,
feels like a wee while since we've seen a goal like that for Hibs. When was the last time we scored for outside the box?
It's probably more recently than we're remembering, but I don't know. Can't think off the top of my head.
Aye, just a good goal. One of them. I was like, sitting at work on my phone watching.
I do remember a goal similar, like where he cut in between two players and shot for distance and scored, but we're not going to name that person that scored that goal.
I mean, we'll come back to this game in a minute, but a lot of people have been asking about Docherty after the back of his performance. He's, I think he got man of the match at Ross County as well. He had a goal and an assist in the cup. He's been a fantastic signing so far. So I mean, a lot of people asking if we think we can keep him. So we've got Andrew asking here, any hope in hell of Hibs keeping Docherty? Can we sign Docherty? And why are Hibs fans such miserable money? But anyway, that's another question, but that's from James. So a lot of people asking about Docherty. What's your kind of thoughts on that?
Just got to enjoy him while we've got him.
Do you think?
100% not keeping him. But
yeah, I don't know.
There's the old pessimistic Stephen we're used to.
We've got to throw in.
I don't know. Keep him either. See, if he's playing like that, why can he not get a chance in that Rangers team?
Yeah.
The only thing is that might go in our favour is Rangers are desperate to stop 10. So they might have to go out and spend money, and he might be like, I'm not going to get a game here. But
yeah.
Keith Robertson's asking, what do you think the possibility of a Canberra for Docherty swap happening?
No chance.
If it was offered, would you consider it?
I'd take it, snap your hand off. Docherty's worth
a lot of Rangers fans, when I went in today to work, there was 2 Rangers fans said to me, here, Flo was good yesterday when he came on.
Yeah, my mate said it as
well. Somebody else had changed the game. I've seen a lot of stuff on social media getting a lot of praise. So
they've really not been watching Hibs games then.
That's what he does. That's what he does.
If he's doing it for them, and then that's good, because it could hopefully increase that chance of a swap deal.
I just think that a swap deal would be too ambitious. They'd just pay for Canberra and keep Docherty.
And John is asking, can we afford Docherty? I mean,
no.
How much do you think they'd be asking for?
If we can't afford Kevin Nisbet, then we can't afford Docherty. It's fact.
Pessimistic Steve's back. It's great.
It's gone. It'll be gone in like 10 seconds.
Dave, how much do you think?
I agree with Stephen, to be fair. I don't think we'll be paying for a Docherty. I don't think if Rangers wanted $500,000, can't see us paying it. Hopefully they can get a swap.
Hopefully.
If they could, then I'd be over the moon.
Yeah, I really would.
Yeah, so we'll see what comes from that. So and in terms of the rest of the game, we got Killie got one back. Slivka, is it a case of misjudging where the ball's going to go because there's a deflection in there, and Burke's just more aware to it, or should Slivka do better with that? Should he read it better, or is it just a bit unfortunate that he's kind of turning at the wrong time and it kind of gets caught in his back foot?
There is a deflection, and then a couple of people look like they're maybe going to get it and try and get it, and then they didn't. But it is all about anticipation. Like he's not got that defensive instinct. He's not that type of player.
But then why does Burke have the instinct that it might change? So it's a football instinct, and then it's not a defensive one or an attacking one. It's just a football instinct.
I think Burke's in that position more often than not.
Right.
To gamble and go for it. Slivka's in a position he normally doesn't find himself and is caught flat-footed. It's
fair enough.
Definitely an element to blame to Slivka, but he did find himself.
It didn't look like he got a shout either. Like, I mean, it looked as though he was oblivious that Burke was even behind him until the ball went past him again.
I think Hanlon was trying to tell him.
But we got ourselves back in front. Adam Jackson, that man Newell delivering again. Newell and Doige are two players that got written off by a lot of Hibs fans,
including us, to be fair.
No, me. I stood up for Newell.
Me and Dave.
I've written Newell off.
I didn't.
I'm not ashamed of that.
He's about to be big-headed in a minute. I'm taking my moment to shine. I said Newell was going to come good. I'll find the clips.
It's fine, find him. I didn't. I thought he was going to be rubbish, but he's proved me wrong. Fine with that.
It was the time out the squad that made the difference for him, I think. I think that if you dropped a lot of players and then brought them back in after, 8 or 9 games he was out,
I think a change of management and that made a difference to Newell. He was told he could hit the ball into the box and not go backwards all the time, probably.
He's got a bit more of a free roll.
I also said Josh Vela was a player, so we're back in.
Well, it might be.
How's he been doing in Shrewsbury? Has he even kicked a ball for them yet?
I don't know.
I don't care.
So I mean, we also, we had we'll quickly talk about the second half. I mean, it was a tough place to go, a tough victory to get. Was it more Kilmarnock changing their approach and Hibs kind of maybe not being able to get out, or was it that thing of Hibs trying to sit on a lead?
It felt like a bit of both. As Stephen knows, how about 65th minute, we changed. I would say we went more a back four, and it did feel like it was just relentless. But we kept 2 strikers in the park. And an option like trying to pull us up, but it wasn't really effective enough. But I think the fact that Jack Ross didn't change that shows that we were still trying to counter attack and use Boyle's pace with them in the middle, and then it nearly did pay off at one point.
I think that was maybe the thinking of going to the 4 in midfield, because then Boyle's got a bit more freelance to be even further up. So yeah, and I mean there was a couple of times he got in behind and could have came to something, but I mean that's the same as Ibrox. But you play a risky game with that, because I mean there's two incidents. First one I don't think it's really much point in talking on. I'm sorry if people think otherwise, but second one was a penalty, was it not?
I would say so.
Probably. We got away with it.
I mean Michael Stewart made a great point in the looking back at the footage. You can't see the boy's number because Jackson's pulling the shirt that much.
He pulled it up nearly over his head.
Aye, and he's got his, he's got like a wrestling holder in the head as well. So yeah,
we got away with one, but
yeah,
I'm alright with that. I'd have been annoyed if we'd lost it. But just going back to that as well, what you're saying about Boyle being given more a licence to break. See the fact that we did have Boyle on the 2 strikers, that probably stopped Kilmarnock throwing even more at us, because they had to be wary of what we had. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So
yeah. So I mean, quickly just on the Ross County game as well, before we talk all about how the 3-5-2 has changed everything. I mean, the first goal, just quickly, I mean, a great ball from Allen once again. Is the keeper to blame for the goal?
No, it was a brilliant goal, brilliant ball, absolute pinpoint. Wee bit any further.
If it's your keeper, are you annoyed though?
Defender gets it. Nah, because the way the ball is played, and then the kind of spin that Allen puts when it checks into the ground in the direction of McNulty, and the keeper doesn't know it's going to check like that. No. Like when you watch the goal back, so the keeper's anticipated that it might spring forward and they would have got it. A yard further forward, the keeper gets it. Nah, it's just good play.
And the other goals came from set pieces from there, which we've kind of discussed. So great to see us being effective from set pieces. So looking at the last 2 games, one of the big things we've changed, I guess the 3 games if you include the Scottish Cup game as well, when I was saying about scoring goals from corners, I realised I've missed out the BSC game in there and was thinking about the Dundee United game, so that might be a bit off, I apologise. But anyway, one of the big changes has been the change to the 3-5-2. Stephen, how you feeling?
Just feel... trying to think of the word.
I'm going to go to the toilet now. Just alright.
I feel as though my arguments have been justified finally. I feel as though Graham Matthews listened to the podcast and he's thought maybe Stephen's got something.
Nobody's listened to the podcast. That's like me going, I really want it to snow, and I start saying that in June,
every single day.
In June, every day, and then when it snows, I go, aye, he was listening. The big man was listening to me.
No, like I says, I mean, I'm not a football manager, but just going back to when we've been most effective in the last 5 years, it's been when we've been playing a 3-5-2. A lot of the players that started it off are still there, especially the back 4, back 5, including Gray.
We won the Scottish Cup with 3-5-2.
We won the Scottish Cup with 3-5-2. We got promoted with 3-5-2. We got our highest points tally, 3-5-2. I just think that there was something there, and it was when we went back to the preferred team last week. It was the fact that we've got enough in midfield to play a 3-5-2 effectively. And even after the game against Kilmarnock yesterday, Boyle was questioned about him playing right wing back, and he turned around and says, I've played that position a few times before, getting used to it. And Boyle was quite effective tracking back yesterday as well. There was a lot of times where he was back in his 18-yard box making tackles and stuff. So
yeah, actually, the exact words, he said he loves it. He sees loads of the ball.
Because he gets the ball. And that's where he's most effective.
And he can drive forward and he's got a lot of room to run into.
And the thing, I guess the thing that I liked about it especially, I noticed this a lot more at Ross County, was there was a lot of times where Newell would step back and become the left back, McGinn would step over to the right, and Boyle would have more freedom to go to be more of a winger. And then you've got 2 in the middle, or McNulty can go slightly to the left and stuff, and then all of a sudden you're playing a 4-3-3, and the defending team's like, oh, we had 2 strikers a minute ago, and no wingers, and now we've got 2 wingers, and there's that fluidity to the team,
I was gonna say,
and it makes it harder to defend against, which was great to see. And
you saw the change when Newell came off yesterday as well. Like within the first 5 minutes, Stevenson was over at right back, like trying to clear balls and stuff, and that's what made me think that we weren't playing 3-5-2 anymore, was the fact that he never had the pace to run up and down the wing, and then he was ended up getting pulled all over the park. And that just shows the difference, like, between how effective Newell's been and how effective it's been dropping Stevenson.
Because one of the worries you've had about Newell playing out wide has been he's a very good player, very calm on the ball, but he's not got the ability to take on a man and beat a man.
He can beat a man in the middle of the park with skill.
Yeah.
He can't out wide. He's
not got the pace to knock the ball past somebody and go sprinting past them on a consistent basis. So he's got a lot of other strengths to his game, but that's not one of them.
And that still would be my concern.
Yeah. So, but I mean, then that's the sort of thing of where if he isn't going forward as much, and Boyle is, you can step. You've got that easiness, like I was saying, to step over with somebody like McGinn playing the right centre back, who can easily become the right back for 30 seconds to a couple of minutes, depending on how the attack's going.
Yeah, I would still put Newell in the middle though,
right,
going forward, if we were going to play this, and get somebody with the ability, or like even 3/4 of the pace of Boyle, and cause problems to teams either side. That to me would be really effective. But I definitely wouldn't drop Newell, I'd put him in the middle.
And somebody else who's been benefiting from this, I feel, is Paul Hanlon. I think it's the best formation for him.
100%.
How do you feel he's played the last few games?
He's looked a lot more composed with Jackson and McGinn beside him. I think he's done a lot more in terms of he's got a lot more support pushing back when we're on the back foot, and he's not having to rely on making sideward passes. Because, I mean, we've spoke about it before, is the fact that most of his passes have been out wide to Stevenson, back to the keeper, or just in front of him to a defensive midfielder.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's got a wee bit more of a licence to push forward up to the halfway line. And, I mean, it's just the way it is.
We nearly made a complete arse of that Jackson thing.
What Jackson thing?
Jackson nearly leaving. at the end of that window.
100%.
In a weird way, thank the Lord that Porteous got injured at Dundee United. So otherwise we maybe wouldn't have had Jackson there now.
That's exciting about Porteous coming back.
I
into
know,
that back three.
I'm happy he's going to come back in it.
But Porteous, Jackson, Hanlon could be good with McGinn, out on the right.
Yeah, to
or
me,
you've got Boyle in there.
yeah.
It just gives you options. It's great.
Jackson's like a different player. He's the exact same, just
Really,
class.
another one that really suits that back three. I seen it at Ross County. He wasn't afraid to release his inner Effie and go for a wander, and wasn't the worst when he was doing it.
Yeah,
it's given him that option to stay up for corners and that as well, because you've got
still got a back four
people
behind you.
back.
Yeah, and then that's that. We've spoken in the past about how Ross County are really good at that. Liam Fontaine will all of a sudden burst forward, and there's an extra man in the box. You don't know who to mark, and they scored from that up at.
Well, that's Jackson scored 2 goals in 2 games.
he's aggressive in the box too.
100%.
He doesn't go up like Hanlon goes up. To me, like Hanlon, like I've seen it. Other people saying it as well. Like when he headers the ball, it's almost like headers it with care. Like, but like Jackson was up. They were wanting a foul. He just threw everything. He's like, my ball.
In both boxes.
Yeah, brilliant. Brilliant.
So I mean, on that, we moving into the midfield, I guess the 3-5-2. Given that it's his new position, is Slivka worth a new contract? That's a question from Stuart.
See, I don't think I've ever yo-yoed as much with a player as Slivka, because I really like him and I've always kind of really liked him. But then I have went through phases where I've been like, probably isn't worth a new contract, but he's been brilliant last couple of games.
I think again it goes back to 3-5-2 with him, because he was more effective, and we were always talking about him deserving to stay with us when we were playing 3-5-2 during the Hecky era and the start of the Jack Ross. He wasn't really getting in the team, or if he was getting in the team, it was shocking. But now that he's got an extra man round him as well, like, it does give him a wee bit more freedom, and he's freeing up other players.
Do you feel a bit sorry for the likes of Hallberg and even Omiyonga, who's been dropped the last couple of games?
Not sorry, because if they want a game, then they need to.
But I mean, we were crediting Hallberg for taking ownership of trying to learn a new position. Now that position isn't there, his more natural position is available, and he's not getting a game.
Yeah, but nothing you can do. I can't do anything about that. What do you want me to do?
Is he a bit unfortunate?
Does that mean that
That's unfortunate.
Hallberg will sit there when Docherty's not there next season?
Maybe.
He's got another 5 months now to learn that new position.
We'll probably chop and change it quite a lot.
Yeah.
The midfield positions. I wouldn't be surprised. I'll be surprised. Sorry, to see Slivka play every game for the end of the season.
Yeah.
So,
but he does offer you something in terms of he's quite calm on the ball, and he's quite good at taking a couple of touches, finding himself some space. Something we've credited, your favourite Dave's favourite Dylan McGeoch for in the past. He's quite good at that. It's just sort of, there's been times where he's not been able to consistently put that all together. So hopefully this is the start of that now. And we spoke about Alan. His turnaround of form. This formation's definitely helped. Bless you, Dave. And great for the strikers as well. To be able to play the two of them.
Yeah, definitely. They seem to like it's going to work as well.
100%. I'll tell you what though, like, see in the first 10 minutes when O'Donnell nearly took McNulty's head off, I was like, oh shit. I was like, where do we go for here? No more 3-5-2. Back to 4-5-1, because we've only got going.
It's that typical big man, wee man striker.
Yeah.
I used to go for that when I used to play Football Manager. Anyway, I got sacked all the time in the first season. That's why I don't play Football Manager anymore. I used to go Arsenal all the time. I used to sign like Olich. Mind that Croatian guy? I used to sign him all the time, and Huntelaar. Every single time, and I got sacked at the end of every first season. I was like, I'm not doing something right here. I would reset it, still get sacked all the time.
Because he wasn't playing a 3-5-2.
And I went Arsenal too, because they kind of had that theme of no sacking managers.
Yeah.
Not with me.
So I finish up then. I guess the 3-5-2. I mean, it seems like Jack Ross in his pre-match said that they might have been playing the 3-5-2 out of necessity. For example, Stevenson and Whittaker had picked up knocks with some other injuries and stuff, and it was maybe because we didn't have any other left backs. Says a lot for Tom James. That we were going to play Newell on left wing back, because that's better suited for him than full on left back, and that might have been the thinking for the 3-5-2. So is it fair to say, going by that pre-match interview, that Jack Ross has kind of stumbled on this by accident?
Yeah, he could have done, or he could listen to the podcast and know what to give any credit, or just sense how smug this thing to my right will be.
Or is our previous manager a trendsetter, since he was one of the first ones to kind of bring it back when he started playing Edward and Griffiths up top?
Yeah, kind of did mention that as well, like, and Aberdeen started doing it.
Yeah.
And kind of joked in the last podcast that we watch Derek McInnes DVDs. Well, we
Maybe
did
we
say the night before we go 3-5-2 for the first time under Jack Ross, Derek McInnes plays a 3-5-2.
Well, no, it's effectively.
I'm keeping my eye on that one.
See what Aberdeen do next week.
Mm-hmm.
So, sum up then, who would have thought it? 3-5-2 is the answer.
Brilliant. And I want to just say another thing, right? See, a couple of podcasts ago, you asked us, are we stronger now than before the window shut? I can't remember where you worded it, something like that. And me and you both
I'm
said,
sure I would have worded it better.
No. We are stronger. Got to take that. Eat that humble pie, Stephen. I think
it's delicious, isn't it?
I think
personnel for personnel, we did agree.
I think there is an argument on both sides still. I think that if we were playing this before,
yeah,
then I think we would have had a better idea of what personnel we had that were as effective, because even though we've said that there's been improvements with Newell and improvements with Doige, like, I think that we could have, if we had Nisbet in, we're doing better than what we had with Ollie Shaw. I think that we could have still been stronger, but I think that with the new tactics, I'm just bringing myself up here, it's new tactics, that's what it is. No, but I'm being serious. So I think that we are stronger, like, technically, because we've got that extra man in midfield, and I think that Docherty, like, I wrote him off because he was a Rangers man.
Yeah.
And now I'll take that back. He's been nothing short of, like, professional with us. He's done a job. He's smiling after every game. Looks as though he wants to be here, and he looks as though he's actually playing for the club rather than just to get a more game time when he goes back to Rangers. So
I agree with that. It's a good,
brilliant.
Good assess summary.
Well, Stephen, you can have the final word on your 3-5-2. What's your kind of final say?
Third place.
We'll come back to that. And we'll get back to that right now. So, third, is it a possibility?
Yes.
I think realistically now, yeah.
So, with that win yesterday, we now go 4 points ahead of Kilmarnock in 6th place.
1 point behind Livi.
1 point behind Livingston.
5 points behind third place.
Only 5 points behind Aberdeen in third. Now, Motherwell do have a game in hand on us, so if they win their game in hand, that obviously makes it a bit more difficult, but they're not in best run form at the moment.
Hopefully they don't, because it's against St Mirren.
Yeah.
Keeping my eye on St Mirren's results.
St Mirren.
Separate topic.
So, I mean, how are you feeling for the rest of the season? I mean, we've kind of got our formation that's working. We feel like the January transfer window's been quite a success from what we've seen so far. We're doing well in the cups. Is third place within the realms of possibility? Do you expand on your earlier thoughts?
It's just amazing what a couple of wins they just change moods, confidence. I mean, it completely changes fans' tones, like me and Stephen.
100%.
It is. It's mental, and so that just shows you what the players will get for that, though.
Yeah.
The fans are happier. You get more people going along to the games because feels like there's a wee bit of buzz about it because you start winning games. So it's all about, innit?
And the thing is now, like, I think if at any point we did lose, I think that there wouldn't be as big a backlash.
Oh, there will be. I'll be fucking on this fuming the next defeat. Come on, for football fans.
No,
if you're not petty and what are you? You're not doing it right.
No, you're right. I think that there is a growing confidence in what Dave says there, is the players will pick up on it. Like, there's no reason for their performance to dip now. When we go and get a goal, it looks as though we're going to win again. It's not as if we're sitting there at half time thinking, oh, how many goals have we got to concede in the second half? Like, what was it? Kilmarnock scored 2 minutes after Docherty's goal yesterday, and then there wasn't any sort of that dip. Well, not from my end anyway. obviously we picked up a goal right before half time, which again is positive, and it seems as though that's reflected on the players. The fact that the crowd were still up for it, they've kept pushing forward, and they've got a result out of it.
I said that at the end of the game. See, psychologically, holding on to that 2-1 win, for me,
100%.
that was like breaking through a barrier.
Yeah, definitely.
We expect to lose leads and we expect to concede late goals. That is massive, I think. And the season feels like it's just came back out of nowhere. Like, that's where the excitement comes from. We went for absolutely written it off, and you're building for next season, which is boring. Nobody wants that before it's even Christmas. That's what you're hearing. You're like, you really have got to wait till August before I'm excited again, apart from a cup run. Now we've got potential to get third, and we're still in the cup. Think about the next 3 games.
Yeah.
Huge.
Aye.
Like, it's so, that's what I mean. It's just exciting. That's all we ask for.
And I think the big thing, I mean, I think we can be understanding with Kilmarnock. We spoke about the weather conditions, we spoke about the pitch, but against Ross County, it was one of the best performances I've seen Hibs in a long time.
We've not won at Kilmarnock in 10 games before the day.
Well, there you go.
Before yesterday, sorry.
It's a stat you could have chucked out when we were doing the Kilmarnock review.
Yeah. Just exciting,
Come on,
innit?
Stephen, you'll get there eventually.
This is why I don't host.
But yeah, a much better performance against Ross County.
Yeah. We did say that going to Easter Road had become boring. The place has been a bit flat. That'll make it no flat anymore. Like, things like that. We can maybe start getting fans back in the South Stand and just good things, because naturally that will happen.
It'll take a lot more than no, South Stand, sorry, I was thinking the North Stand. I was going to say it's going to take a lot more than that to get that famous 5 floor filled up.
I know, that's the biggest enigma ever.
But yeah, so 11 games to go. Obviously we've got the split will be huge. Are we more confident of being in that top 6? Obviously a big win against Kilmarnock helps, but with the way we're performing, the way we've seen out that result yesterday, the way that we played better against Ross County, are we more confident of seeing out that fight for top 6 and putting ourselves in a position to be in a fight for the top 3?
Yeah, well, we've just both said we can get third, so I think we're going to think we can get top 6. Gav?
I'm just talking about
I'll tell you what, by the way, right? See, fair play to Alex Dyer after his in his post-match interview as well, because for a manager who's sitting 7th and they were 1 point behind us at the start of the game, to lose 2-1, and to be fair, there were quite a few cynical challenges from us in the second half that could have led to a draw. Like, for him to come out and say 2-1 was a fair result, like, imagine Derek McInnes after that game yesterday, he would have been kicking off like fuck. It's like, it's one of the things that does need to be credited. And I mean, I think that Jack Ross picked up on it as well. He set out the 3 targets when he joined the club to get to a point where we were like going up again, to get top 6 and to get a European place, and I think that all 3 of them are logical now.
Brilliant. Well, I love this positivity. This is brilliant.
Don't worry, next week after Livi, that'll be it.
So in order to, look ahead to 3rd, we first have to look at 5th, and in 5th place is Livingston. And funnily enough, don't you know we're playing Livingston on Saturday?
I think it feels like we play Livi all the time.
I know.
That game at Easter Road where Bartley came back,
aye.
when was that?
Aye.
It felt like it was like November, then we played them in December, and then we're playing them now. That's
it
the
seems
problem
like
with
quite close
Scottish football,
together.
man. It's too many. It is. It's daft,
I
because
know.
we've not played certain teams in ages, and then all of a sudden you're playing teams twice within the time you've played another team.
Yeah.
What's the point?
They need to sack the split.
No, keep the split.
Keep the split. I love the split.
But that's the thing,
the split might save Hearts.
that's exactly what my point was earlier in the week, was the fact that the only way that Hearts have got to stay up now this season or the split because they've got to be
this
playing.
isn't a Hearts podcast. You can do that later on. But looking at that, I mean, so the first thing, obviously, we said Livingston are the next obstacle we need to look at. Obviously, we've got them first, but could their run of fixtures benefit us as well? So I'll just run through them for you. They've got us at Easter Road. Then they play Celtic at home, although they beat Celtic at home earlier in the season. Then away to St Johnstone, and then at home to Hearts, and at home to Aberdeen. So, 4 really tough games in there. And Hearts.
Well, they need to start digging at Hearts, Gav. This is not what we're here for. Then he give us a row, and then 30 seconds later, throw a dig in.
To be fair, they must have had a hard game yesterday if they made Canberra look
Why
good.
can we not talk about Hearts before the league? Why no? It's no fair. Let me talk about it. And let me talk about how Rangers are not going to win the league either. Come on. Let me off my leash.
Right, go for
How
it.
good is this? How
So
good is football?
It is really
So good. Every weekend. Something to look forward to. Got Easter Road. You look out for the Rangers getting beat. You look out for Hearts getting beat. And it all happens. It's what a good time. What a good time to be a football fan now.
You made me
Right.
smile, Dave. You made me smile.
Made myself smile. I can feel a tear coming on.
So, getting back to Livingston, could that tough run of games benefit us with us having a more favourable run of games coming up?
Who we got?
2 seconds, I'll get it up. I'm sure it's more favourable. We have Livingston at home. Then we have Inverness, although that's in the cup. Then we have team bottom of the league. Nice, easy 3 points. All Hearts it is. Then we're away at Aberdeen, which will be a tough game, and then at home St Johnstone. So, I mean, Aberdeen away is always a tough game. Obviously,
Got 0-0 written all over it. Like.
at the moment, I'd probably take that, especially a recent form up there. But obviously, a big opportunity to draw back, claw back points in them. But I mean, you know, Livingston at home, Hearts at home, games we should be winning. St Johnstone at home. So, you know, in the next 4 league games, we've got 3 home games.
All I ask, and it's not a big ask, is that we're in touching distance of them getting into the split, like that third place, and just give us something to play for after the split.
Yeah.
And I kind of agree with what Stephen says earlier on, that if then for that point it maybe doesn't happen, then it's been a decent effort.
Yeah.
That's all we want, a good effort. If we to come through where we were. Jack Ross been 1 point in front of Hearts when he takes it, and then now we're 17 points in front of them.
I just don't want it to end up the same as the season where it came down to Rangers in the last game of the season. And
I would take it going down to the last day.
But
If you'd offered me that when Heckenbottom left, I'd have laughed at you anyway.
What I mean though is, like, I'd rather it was in our hands rather than having to win 6-0.
Oh, no,
more realistically in our hands
Yeah.
rather than
I
a
see what you
ridiculous
mean there. I see what
scoreline,
you
yeah,
mean
and
there.
kind of looking at other results as well that
Yeah.
day. So yeah, I see what you mean there. So Livingston's last few games, they had credited for their performance at Ibrox in a 1-0 defeat, and they won at home against St Mirren. They love their home games. Went out the cup to Inverness, our next opponents. Got beat away to Ross County and won at home to Motherwell. So I mean, a lot of their points this season have been coming from home. Does it give you a bit of encouragement that, you know, the away form hasn't been as good as their home form?
Yeah, that does. And it obviously it's easy to say that the pitch comes into it. Obviously it does. Bartley said they get a good advantage on that plastic pitch.
Have they even got Bartley next week?
I was going to ask that as my next question. I mean, he was in the stand at Rugby Park doing the media, so I don't know if he was either suspended or injured.
I don't know if it was maybe because the game got moved to Sunday and he already had commitments to BT.
Nah, maybe that. But nah, you try to tell me Bartley would turn down Ibrox for BT? Nah.
Wouldn't surprise me, to be honest.
So
watch the Hibs or play against Rangers.
he'd play against Rangers. So it must have been either. I mean, if I'm honest, I kind of hope it's an injury because I don't want him playing against us because he was really good at Easter Road.
I thought Livi, when they came to Easter Road, were pretty decent.
Really hard to break down.
Hard to break down, but they're no like the stereotypical like hard to beat Livi team. They've actually started to get a bit better, I think. They scored a lot of goals, and they're, like you say, they're hard to break down. So
I was speaking to the same Livi mate that told me all about how Livi played and then they didn't set up like that, so we'll not look into this too much, but he says he's not been impressed with, is it Ross McCrory or Rory McCrory? Which one is it, the goalie? Whichever one the goalie that's on loan from Rangers, says he's not been impressed with him, so maybe a nice wee long shot from Docherty would be.
depends if he gets back in. If that keeper did well at Ibrox there, then
true,
you never
true.
know. It might not be that.
Yeah, they've got 2 keepers on loan, you know, so that are both, I guess, sort of fighting for the number 1.
If Marciano had a bit more accuracy, we could have got him to shoot. Seems to be a trend against Livi. But.
I mind that game. So overall then, score predictions for the game against Livingston.
I'm going to say 2-1 to Hibs.
3-1 Hibs.
Love this positivity. I'm going to go 3-0 Hibs, why no?
I think it's ambitious a wee bit with a
Steven,
clean sheet.
3-5-2.
It's got to be a 3-0.
So regular listeners of the podcast will be sitting there, that's not the usual music that the boys have got on. So yeah, you'd be right. This week's the music's coming from the Bright Skies. Liam, a good Hibees, has been on the podcast a few times, got in touch with us about his band's new Signal, and I mean, I got to listen to it because I got to get the full audio sent over in order to put it in, and I'm not just saying this because Liam's a lovely guy and because he's a big Hibby. I would have done it for him anyway regardless, but I was happy to do it because it's honestly an absolute banging tune. It's out on Friday 21st, so if you're listening to this past that, go find it. Just find them at Bright Skies on Twitter, and you can find the song. It's called Docherty on Spotify and Apple Music. So yeah, just a teaser. I'll try and get permission to play a lot more of the song next week after its release. So although we're halfway through the season, the ladies team is just getting back to it. So we thought we'd get the founder of the Hibernian Ladies Supporters Club on to chat to us about the new season. So joining us now is Stefan. How you doing, Stefan?
I'm doing not bad. Yourself, Gavin?
I'm doing great, yeah, thanks for asking. So, I mean, just before we kind of get into the new season and stuff, what was your thoughts on last season?
Well, last season for the ladies was very successful. A second place finish in the league. We got to the last 32 of the Champions League. We had a home tie in the Champions League at Easter Road, and more of the girls were breaking into the Scotland set up at various levels as well. So it was a very, very successful campaign, and we just lost out to Glasgow City 4-3 in the Scottish Women's Cup final at Tynecastle as well. So things can be going up, so we say.
Like you say, disappointing not to kind of do that double for a fourth year in a row, which would have been some achievement. But I mean, it's not been the best sort of off season with, you know, the manager leaving. A lot of the players that you kind of mentioned are kind of moved on. Are you kind of worried about this season from that aspect with a new management team and a lot of the players are leaving?
Yes and no. Yes, I'm worried at the fact that we might not be able to produce the same high standard of football as last season, because we did have several departures that you alluded on, such as Jamie Lee, Chelsea, Jenna, all going to other clubs. But I'm also not worried. I'm quite excited to see what Dean and Roddy's going to bring to the club as well. So who knows what's going to happen.
So some of those players that have left have went on to Celtic and Rangers and Glasgow City, and you know they seem to be taking some big steps to improve. Do you think that could be a bit frustrating? Is it frustrating not seeing Hibs take the same steps?
It's incredibly frustrating because, see, this is where the men's team differ from the ladies. What we want is for the ladies to be thought of or held in the same bracket as the men, because Rangers have gone professional, Motherwell have gone professional, Hearts have gone professional. Yes, Glasgow City's their own independent setup, but they're regarded as a professional outfit in the women's game as well. So it's incredibly frustrating to see that Hibs haven't gone professional as of yet. That's not to say they will, but it's incredibly frustrating that the fact is that we can't get the same sort of qualities of player because we're just not a professional outfit. We're still regarded as semi-professional.
So with a lot of those players, so with a lot of those teams going professional, do you think that could make it a more difficult season, and could Hibs fans have to temper their expectations in terms of where Hibs can finish this season?
I think it's going to be, if you're lucky, a 5th or 6th place finish, and that's not to be negative on the team. It's just being realistic. I mean, we've already alluded to, we've had several high-profile departures, including the manager and a good few players. And with this new manager, Dean, coming in, to be fair, I don't know too much about him, but things I've heard, they're really quite good. So I'm interested to see what he brings, but also with only getting 2 signings through the door in 5 or 6 Livi, I'm kind of apprehensive as well.
So to finish up on a more positive note, have you got 3 reasons why we should still be excited for the new season?
Yes, obviously the main one is we have a new manager in Dean Gibson, so let's back him to the hilt and cheer the team on. Let's hope we can retain our Scottish Cup, and we've got Edinburgh derbies coming up this season as well.
Yeah, Hearts back in the league, so that's a great reason. I never even thought that, and that's a brilliant one to get excited for the season. So I mean, the final question then, I guess, is what's your score prediction for the Spartans game at the weekend?
Well, if it's to go anything by last season's opener against Spartans, that was a 0-0 draw. But I think this year we're just going to sneak it maybe by 1 or 2 goals. So I'll go for 2-0 Hibs and Siobhan Hunter to score the first goal. There you go.
Brilliant. Cheers for that, Stefan. And then, so where can people find you if they want to keep up to date with the ladies' team?
People can find the Hibernian Ladies Supporters Club on Facebook. All you have to do is just search for Hibernian Ladies Supporters Club and it'll come up. And on Twitter as well at Hibernian_club.
Fantastic. Cheers for that, Stefan.
No bother.
Enjoy the both games at the weekend.
I will do, thanks.
So we're going to finish up with your guys' questions that we haven't already covered. So we have, the first question was, we've got here is from Andrew, but it's the first half of the question was in regards to Docherty, which we've covered, and the other question was, have we broke the curse of always having a bad Christmas?
I think we still had a bad Christmas.
I guess we beat Hearts, and then, if you take that Livingston game out of it, and then obviously the January window. Was January window
wasn't the best Christmas? I wouldn't say it's better curse.
But
I didn't even know we had a curse. I didn't think I'd pay attention at Christmas.
I think we went through a spell of like being top or near the top of the league going into Christmas, and then come the into the season we were finishing 6th and 7th. But that's gone back to just
John
after
Collins.
Mowbray and Collins years.
So speaking of managers, Keith asks, so this is a long question, but the question comes at the end. Jack Ross getting rid of the useless wee rat for Docherty seems to have been a fantastic shrewd piece of business. He's also getting the best out of Heckingbottom signings. We're climbing the table after what seemed a few weeks ago like our season was hinging on a decent cup run. Does Jack Ross have the potential to be better than Lennon? And if so, how long before Celtic come in for him?
Why would Celtic want Jack Ross when they've got Neil Lennon?
Neil Lennon's going to be there forever. I'm talking about.
I think he's got
he's winning
10 years
everything
on
still. Would he be better than Lennon? Lennon was exciting, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It depends if he can keep the
Exciting football.
Exciting football, but that's pretty much what it comes down to, because results is fine, but you can see the abuse that Derek McInnes is getting for results. I mean, they're sitting third in the table, and they're all wanting him out because he's born.
He's got the same sort of demeanour as Mowbray. He sort of sulks around the touchline. He gets the results. He's getting
quite
the players.
calm.
Because he's calm. He's not. I think a lot of people could buy into Lennon because he was almost like
a fan.
How a fan would react to
yeah.
something and get off his tits. But
I mean, what I mean though is he was sitting there in his chair scowling after Jackson scored and things like that. I mean, it's not as excitable.
To be fair, he did have a knee operation.
Fuck that.
So that's maybe why he was.
Lennon would still be on an aeroplane.
So not so much a question, but on that sort of topic, Mike has said, imagine what can happen with a couple more transfer windows and Jack Ross has a solid team and with his own players. He's done fantastic so far. Good point, but I mean, I guess I come back to the disappointing thing about this window is they're all loan players, so it's kind of hard to build for the future.
Could still do an FA in there,
A final question from Facebook. Calvin's asking, would you take Simon Money back?
I would take him back as third choice.
I'd take him back now, but he's out for the rest of the season, and I wouldn't take him back next season. I want better in the summer. No disrespect to the lad.
I don't want to take players back. Can I keep bringing players back?
There he is.
Worries. I get moaned at that, and you two are wanting Simon Murray.
I'd take him now until the end of the season, but he's out injured, so I won't take him.
I got stick for that.
I'm pretty sure it was Craig that went off on one because you were like, you had
and then he wanted McGeoch and Ambrose and Minolly. That Craig.
So next question here's from Macro, who's asked, does the boss listen to the podcast? Will Stephen get a strategy role at HTC?
That'd be nice. That's what we're aiming for.
I hope no.
Think.
I've heard some of the crap he comes out with. He's flicked it. He's been on about one thing for long enough, and folk are going to think you can what you're talking about.
A big board.
Just listen to every other fucking episode we talk about anything else other to do with football, and then they'll all realise that you're clueless.
A big board, 3-5-2. That's all you need.
Matt,
he thought McGinn was overrated. Can I just bring that in it? You thought John McGinn was overrated.
His first season he was pretty average.
Oh, Stephen.
I'd take first season John McGinn any day. Matt's question, is 3-5-2 proven to be our best option now?
Nah, it has, sake, Matt. We just moved on for that.
Would Stephen have played Newell as left wing back in his ideal 3-5-2?
My preferred Tima says Newell.
No, you never did.
We went back and listened to it.
You said
just before you came
Omiyonga.
in. You said Omiyonga. You said Newell in the middle and Omiyonga left wing back.
Because you turned round and you says, oh, would Newell play left? Would Newell play wing? I says, yeah, he would play wing. But then you were sort of like, oh,
no. You done your team. You done your team. We listened to it. You done it because I was trying to listen for bites of you saying 3-5-2, but it took too long.
You said, who did that leave out? Who did that leave out? Slivka.
You left out Slivka, and you also left out Hanlon and put Whittaker at left wing back. So he doesn't get everything that he's talking about.
That's what you said. Hanlon's been horrendous, and then
he has been horrendous.
But then he's been class in your 3-5-2.
In my 3-5-2 because we've not been playing 3-5-2 when I done that.
Anyway, Rav asks if we lose to Livingston on Saturday, is our push for the top 3 over?
No, depends on the results in Motherwell and Aberdeen. So as long as we just keep in touch and distance, say, if that becomes a wee bunch getting to the last 6, it's fine.
Yeah. So that's the questions. The rest of them are all to do with Docherty and stuff, and whether we feel we can get Docherty. So we've kind of covered that quite a bit earlier on. So, what you guys got planned for the rest of the night?
Tonight,
getting tickets for an audience with Alan Stubbs now.
An audience with Alan Stubbs?
They're just put up in the WhatsApp group.
Alright.
There's an audience with Alan Stubbs. Gold tickets, £114.
£114?
I'd fucking pay it.
Anyway, Dave, other than finding out what this thing is on that, what are you up to tonight?
Gone in for my dinner, mate. Just having peanut butter chicken.
Oh.
Gnocchi. Is that pasta that's kind of stuffed?
It's like potato.
I'm trying to eat healthy. What else is annoying? I almost feel like it's deliberate. McDonald's have released the Grand Mac.
Yes, I have.
And I love a Big Mac. And they've released it bang on time where I'm trying to eat it better. But they also have released the pots of sauce for the Big Mac. And I fucking love the Big Mac sauce.
They do a Big Mac sauce in pots?
Yeah. Yes.
So what Dave's saying is that his peanut butter chicken is now
covered
in Big Mac
I'm gonna have that tonight. But I
I
might need to fast forward to the days where I can eat what I want, because it's only here till March.
Right.
Do you know I'm comfy? I'm sure you were sorry for me.
I do feel really sorry for you.
I love a Big Mac. I feel like every day that I didn't have one, I'm wasting opportunities. I should just start my diet again in March. But then they'll bring back something else. Risk again.
McRib.
Whatever happened with that Szechuan sauce that was crazy? They never really done a big release of that. With the whole Rick and Morty thing. The sauce that was in Mulan.
Never seen Mulan. Never, I don't know which Rick and Morty.
It's an Adult Swim cartoon, and there was a thing about Szechuan sauce in it, which was a limited time sauce for the 90s, and then off the back of that, everyone wanted it. McDonald's done this tiny release and never done much more. But in saying that, Mulan's coming out soon, so you never know. Folk that know what I'm talking about will know what I'm talking about. Other folk will be like, what are you talking about?
I didn't mind talking about food, but then he start bringing other stuff in it.
It's McDonald's sauces. It's topical to what we're discussing.
What's Mulan?
Is it not a cartoon?
Aye.
Is it like a cartoon version of King and I or something?
No, it's the one where the girl, her dad, the the Chinese army is like their enrollment's mandatory, so she takes her dad's name and goes and dresses up as a man and goes and fights in the army. It's brilliant, a great film.
Good synopsis.
Right.
Somehow, no, I'm not going to sing.
Gav's got to start writing for IMDb now.
That was a good summary.
That's what I'm saying. It was good.
I could do it. Anyway, he's going to try and catch any of the Man United Chelsea game tonight, which has already kicked off, and we missed some of it.
Yeah, it's still 0-0. It's fine.
Maybe a wee bit. English football just bores the life out of me. So probably no.
I actually prefer watching Championship games than I do Premier
Carney's
League.
already off as well.
I missed, ironically, because I was getting my toenails painted in the kitchen, I missed the 4-each game on Friday.
No way.
Yeah, turned the channel on after my toenails were dry because I couldn't go through onto the carpet with them, and it was 4-each.
Aye,
Raging.
Mr. Cracker. Yeah, so other than that, he's got much planned for this week. I know you're working a lot, Dave. You know,
Just working.
20 days in a row or something.
Just working, and then football. Quite looking forward to Friday night. There's a decent game Friday night. St Mirren are playing Hearts on the telly, so I'll tune into that for a laugh, and then Livi at home, which I'm also buzzing about because we're winning.
Yeah. Much planned, Stephen?
Nah, same, to be fair. Without the work. I've got the kids this week anyway, so
cool.
Busy.
Aye. I'm kind of a spell where you've came to the end of, you know, every job's different, but I've had my sort of 3 weeks training now, and now it's kind of been kind of chucked in the deep end a bit, and it's kind of a bit daunting that everything you've kind of be learning, you learn a lot of information over it, and then it's like, now remember everything and now do all this, and it's like so head was split when I came out today from first day, kind of being chucked in there.
Gav's words today were, let's rush through the podcast. I don't know if it's because of Stephen's 352, but my head's banging.
So we'll finish up there, and like I say, we'll be back to review the Livi game. Thanks again to Stefan for coming on to give us an update on what's been going on with the Hibs ladies and ahead of their kick-off next season. And you can follow us at HFC Talk and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Enjoy the rest of your week, folks, and we'll be back next week.
Hashtag 352.
The Bright Skies, Tokyo, Friday 21st. Buy it. Do it. Apple Music, Spotify. Do it.